You ever have the kind of pain that doesn't scream? The kind that sits under your ribs like a brick, heavy and cold? Yeah, that was me 3 months ago. My name's Ethan. 33 years old. I used to build houses, now I just burn them down. Not literally. Not yet. It started on a Thursday. A nothing day. Cloudy and cold, with the smell of wet pavement and dead leaves crawling in through the cracks of the old window frames. I'd been working on a second-story deck in one of the newer developments off Route 7. Got rained out halfway through and came home early. I still remember the weight of my tool belt in the back seat, the squish of wet boots on the doormat. The door creaked the same way it always had. Maya was at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, typing something on her laptop. She looked up, smiled, not the kind that reaches the eyes. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up fast, screen down. "Hey, you're home early." "Yeah, rained out." "Oh." Then quiet. Long and sharp. My eyes dropped to the phone. Blue case. Glittery. I hated that case. The screen lit up again. A name I didn't recognize flashed for half a second. "Who's that?" She didn't even blink. "Work." One word flat, like the lie didn't even need effort. That night, I lay in bed, listening to her breathe. Deep, steady, calm. Like she didn't have secrets stitching her spine together. Meanwhile, I stared at the ceiling, counting the cracks in the paint like they meant something. I got up at 2:47 a.m., made coffee. Sat in the garage with the door cracked open and smoked a cigarette I'd hidden behind the paint cans. I hadn't smoked in 5 years. That night, I started again. By morning, I'd made up my mind. I wasn't just gonna find out. I was gonna make damn sure. First came the search. I found her old phone in the junk drawer, the one with the shattered corner and smudged screen. She hadn't wiped it. Maybe she forgot. Maybe she didn't think I'd go looking. Maybe she didn't think I had it in me. Photos? Messages? Voice memos? There he was. Brandon. Mr. Fucking Perfect? His face made me want to break mirrors. They'd been talking for 4 months. Long walks during lunch. Client meetings at restaurants we never could afford. Photos in his car. Her legs in his lap. His hand on her thigh. Lingerie I never saw her wear at home. And words. So many words. "I can't wait to be yours. I wish I met you before, Ethan. I love you." That one hit hardest. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I wanted more. I wanted to understand the mechanics of betrayal. I installed a GPS tracker on her car. Cheap Amazon buy. She started taking detours. Stopping at places that didn't make sense. I watched it all from my phone. I followed her once. Stayed 3 cars back. She met him at a motel on the edge of town. Room 306. Watched them laugh as they walked in. Watched the light turn on. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I felt nothing. That scared me more than anything. 2 weeks passed like a storm with no thunder. Just rain. Relentless and quiet. I started building a plan. Not revenge, not at first. Just control. I copied everything to a USB drive. Backed up every text. Every photo. Every voice message. Then I started recording calls. I even recorded her talking in her sleep. Once, she whispered his name. I started writing things down. Timestamps. Locations. Names. I became my own private investigator. The night it broke, the rain came hard. She told me she had a late meeting. Wore that red dress, the one with the slit I used to love. Her perfume was heavier than usual. She even did her hair. I watched her lie to me with that easy smile. "Don't wait up," she said. "I won't," I replied. I followed her. Again. Same motel. Room 306. But this time, I didn't just watch. I waited 15 minutes. Then walked in. Hoodie. Gloves. Hat pulled low. I knocked. Brandon answered the door with a beer in hand. Shirtless. Smug. Yeah? Maintenance. Leak in the ceiling. He turned. Called out, "Babe, someone from the office." She stepped into view. Hair a mess. Eyes wide. "Ethan?" Her voice cracked like glass. I stepped inside. Closed the door. "You got 5 minutes to explain," I said. They both started talking. Overlapping. Useless noise. I didn't hear words. I heard betrayal. I heard broken promises. I heard the death of every quiet Sunday morning and every shared inside joke. Then he said something. I don't remember what. I saw his mouth move, his hands gesture like he had the right. I hit him. My fist connected with a sound I'll never forget. Wet, cracking. He fell. Blood on the carpet. Maya screamed. I didn't hit him again. Didn't need to. I turned to her. Threw a bag at her feet. "Your things. In the trunk. You've got till morning." She cried. Begged. Promised. "You killed us," I said. "Now bury it." The next day, I changed the locks. Deleted her contact. Burned our wedding photos in a fire pit I built with my own hands. I mailed the USB to her sister. Just so someone would know. I didn't hear from her for weeks. Then the letters started. Handwritten. Pages of apologies. Promises. Explanations. She said she felt invisible. That Brandon made her feel seen. Alive. Wanted. She didn't realize what she had until it was gone. Too late. I read them all. Then burned them too. Brandon lost his job. A buddy of mine from high school worked in the same firm. I sent the evidence anonymously. HR didn't like it. Office affairs, broken contracts. He was gone in a week. I tracked his fiancée down. Yeah, he had one. Sent her the same package. 2 birds. I moved. Got a place on the edge of town. Started working with reclaimed wood. Furniture. Art. Quiet work. Simple. I found myself in the grain of red oak and walnut. The smell of sawdust became therapy. I started therapy, too. Real therapy. Doc Harris. Vietnam vet turned shrink. He didn't bullshit me. Just listened. Told me healing ain't linear. Told me anger is just hurt that never had a voice. 6 months out, Maya showed up. Not at my house, at my mother's grave. I saw her from the tree line. She left flowers. A note. I read it later. I still dream of the man I broke. I hope he becomes something better than I ever deserved. I'm not whole. Not clean. But I'm building something new. One piece at a time. Sometimes I still hear her laugh in the back of my mind. Sometimes I remember the way her hand fit in mine. But I never forget room 306. Never forget what it feels like to be betrayed. And I never let that version of me come back. Because he died the moment I knocked on that door. And the man I became? He walks through the rain now, fire in his chest, ashes at his feet.